Welcome back. I can't believe we're coming to the end of these 3 amazing days. It has been such a pleasure to be here with you. It's been a fast 3 days, hasn't it? And each day of the Upswell Summit has introduced us to new ideas, new ways of thinking, new ways to build a more healthy and just nation. Earlier today, Dr. Wren really made us take a hard look at shame and guilt. I mean, two things I dare say that most of us would rather not discuss, but discuss we did, with some uncomfortable moments. But we have much to consider as we look inward at what we can do to better facilitate our journeys to be anti-racist, don't we? And now it's my pleasure to introduce our final main stage of Upswell 2021. I can't believe it's already here. And what a way to end our 3 days together. So, joining us right now on this special main stage presented by the NAMM Foundation, also known as the National Association of Music Merchants, is J Dash. It's our luck that this classically trained piano prodigy, he didn't like me using that term, by the way, rapper, songwriter, producer, engineer, and multi-instrumentalist is back for his second time on the main stage. Now, he believes that exposing kids to all areas of creative arts and associated business can increase the speed of intellectual development and create a new job market centered in the intersection of arts and technology. And he hopes to spark the next generation of musicians and artists of all kinds to push the arts culture forward. So welcome, J Dash. How are you today?
I am amazing after that wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. And thank you,
Well,
Upswell, for having me again.
well, it's all true. Um, Tell us, you fell in love with music at an early age. Do you remember the moment or were you too young to remember? How's the story go?
Well, I was probably between 4.5 and 5 years old, and my sister was taking piano lessons at the time. Now, she was the first in my family to actually, embark on a musical journey at all. So I don't really come from a musical family. And I heard her practicing Beethoven's Fifth, and I was like, "You're doing it wrong." And so I walk up to the piano and I just start playing it. And then my mom was like, "Well, that's not supposed to be happening at this age." And so she also put me in lessons, and then I kind of took off from there.
And it sounds like you've been able to marry two passions, two loves of yours, music and also being able to give back.
Absolutely. I think I'd say I have many passions, and I just try to bring the same one to multiple things, whether it's music or technology or just giving back to the community. It's something that I'm really passionate about, for sure.
Well, I'm speaking for everyone watching right now and listening. We are so thrilled to have you here. J Dash, I'm going to let you take it away.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, again for having me. Now, I have a feeling like after making the rest of us, sometimes God, the universe, the powers that be, whatever it is that you believe in, have some extra talent material, and they put all of it into one person. Um, I am pleased and proud to introduce an unequivocal musical prodigy, a singer, saxophonist, songwriter, composer, band leader, just incredible person. Grace Kelly has rocked the jazz world with sold out concerts, 13 acclaimed albums, and a resume that includes performing at the Hollywood Bowl and as a part of the house band for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, all before reaching her mid 20s, which is insane. Um, Kelly's early career featured performances at Barack Obama's 2009 inauguration at the age of 16, and at 14 as a soloist with the Boston Pops, playing an original composition arranged for the legendary orchestra. She has since played over 900 shows as a band leader in 35 countries at venues like the Kennedy Center, Moscow Symphony Hall, for the Montreal, Newport, and the Montreux International Jazz Festivals. She's performed and recorded with renowned artists including Lin-Manuel Miranda, Dave Brubeck, Lee Konitz, Phil Woods, Huey Lewis, Harry Connick Jr., Gloria Estefan, Questlove, Wynton Marsalis. I mean, and the list goes on. If your mind isn't already blown, then you probably have your speakers off. Turn them up. Also, I want to give NAMM a shout out for being an incredible organization, an even better partner, and for bringing Grace and I together into the Upswell family. So, with that being said, I am humbled to bring to the stage Grace Kelly.
Oh my gosh, J Dash, thank you for that intro. Well, I can get some
No
air in
problem.
here. I'm like really getting red.
Oh no,
Thank you. I'm so happy
not
to
at
be
all.
here with you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you. So here's how this is gonna go. We're gonna
Okay.
break this up into two parts. All right. We're going to have a two-part interview, one lightning round of questions, and then one a little more, a different kind of round of questions, right? Now, the lightning round of questions, these questions are incredibly serious and intense and deep and meant to just get into your inner, everything that we need to know about you. Are you ready?
Oh my gosh. I guess I have to be. Yes. Let's
Here
do
we
it.
go. All right. Lightning round of questions, the most intense questions ever for Grace Kelly. Question number one. Is cereal a soup?
No. No. It's not hot. Soup's got to be
That's
hot.
what makes a soup? Gazpacho is not hot.
Oh shoot.
Yes.
Oh
All right.
god.
Second question. What was your worst Halloween costume?
They're all really. I've had so many bad ones, but Bloody Tinkerbell was a recent one, and I had to just throw things together, and it was hilarious, and it was not that good.
Pictures or it's not real. We got to see it. Next question. Are you a gatherer or a hunter?
Mm-hmm. I like to take stuff and gather it.
There we go. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars, all the way. Yes.
Nice. Do you believe in aliens?
Ooh. I believe that yes, but I don't know if they are aliens. I believe there's some other force out there, that energy that we can't see. Maybe it's alien form, but I will give you a yes.
Awesome. Is it a hot dog a taco?
These are amazing. No, a hot dog is not a taco. No, it doesn't
It
have.
arguably meets the criteria for a taco.
Okay, no, I mean, I could see that, but I just think of a taco being as like you need to have I want my tacos to have a soft corn tortilla. I'm going to roll with that.
It sounds like you're putting tacos in a box here, but we're going to move on. All right.
Maybe.
Does a straw have two holes or one?
Oh, darn. That's really. I think it's one hole, just like one long hole.
Fair. All right. Now, first of all, you did an amazing job. That ended our lightning round.
I'm sweating.
You made it. You made it. It is the most intense part of the interview for sure.
I have never done a lightning round interview. I've never started an interview like that. I really appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Here we go. How do you energize an audience?
Okay, we're past the lightning round now.
We are past the lightning round.
Okay. Well, I love this question because in general, performing for people and for an audience it's a sacred place, and it's why I love to be a musician and an artist. First of all, I find it helpful to pump up before a show, even just doing some like push-ups, jumping around, and I like to set an intention. My intention for all of my shows is let's give these people a joyful experience, and let's, for these next 90 minutes, just be together in the present moment. And my band and I will like huddle, we'll do we'll sing some stuff, and that just gets me like pumped to just run on stage and start it with that intention. So I like setting that before I even step onto stage.
I love that. I love how the manifestation of what happens outward starts inward. And I think that is an incredible practice and thought and something that we can always all take away from. I love that. Is there an instrument that you would like to learn that you don't already know?
Um, Gosh, well, I would love to really be able to play bass, and got to get some lessons from you. I think I get a bunch of lessons on a bunch of different instruments from you. But I have a bass. I just haven't really been putting in the time to practice, and I get really excited every time I hold it, and I just want to write tunes. But I think I'd like to actually get the fundamentals down of like being able to pick it well and get a good sound going. I love the instrument, and I love great bass lines. So that's first on my list. Then maybe drums would be really fun.
I think as being around a band affords you the ability to kind of pick those things up, right? Like you're just around it all the time. Um, so along that same vein, what skills do you feel like you gained as a musician that you couldn't get at any other gig?
Ooh, great question. I think that being a musician has really helped me step into a structured, disciplined way of learning something new. Because you can take the process of learning an instrument and music and use that same process with learning anything. I just feel very lucky that I got to do it with music, and just the act of sitting down, focusing, learning one thing at a time, figuring out how it all fits in together. And it's being a musician, and it takes a lot of discipline, as to learn the music, to prepare for a gig, to be constantly trying to get better at something, growing, learning, watching oneself, refining, and then literally just doing the process all over again. And these days I've also really been doing a lot of teaching, which is a big passion of mine. And I love that too, because it's making me rethink and relearn my process as well as I teach it to other students.
So on that same note of teaching, you are obviously a role model to your students. Can you tell us how important it is to you to have female role models in the music industry?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't have a lot of female role models growing up. And I didn't really realize how important that is, even for myself, until I started to see later as I was growing up playing the saxophone, I started to discover other female saxophonists, whether it was like Candy Dulfer or Tia Fuller, or just so many really fantastic women. But I realize how important it is, right? There's something about seeing someone who looks like you or stands for something that you stand for, something about that connection that then puts it in our heads of, oh, I could do this thing, or I could do that, or you just feel a little bit more like you're in their shoes. And I've had young girls, a lot of young Asian American um, girls and their parents even say to me, you're the reason why she's playing saxophone, or even your story, you being adopted from a young age and, playing this instrument, that's the reason why she's playing it. And I've had some young ladies say to me, I hadn't seen any female Asian role models playing the saxophone and being a dynamic performer on stage. I didn't even know that could be a thing until I saw you do it. And it made me realize I want to do that. And so I'm honestly just so tickled by that, and so excited that what I am doing can impact, a bunch of aspiring musicians in the next generation and a lot of these young ladies. And it's something that I really feel is so important that all of us keep spotlighting, in any way we can, other role models for the next generation and the next generation to learn from and to be inspired by and to step up and continue that journey.
That's awesome. And you mentioned not just seeing not too many women as role models in that industry, but also Asian women. Do you feel like you have ever, as an Asian artist, experienced any racial injustices in the music industry?
I'm so excited to talk about this, and just in general about this whole virtual festival. The fact that you guys are digging into such deep, thoughtful questions. Honestly, the most I've experienced that type of racial injustice has been just kind of a small sliver of. There's definitely been moments that I feel people have stereotyped me or put me in a specific box of assuming that I play violin, especially with what I look like. And I've even had like a saxophone in my hand once, and someone was really convinced that I played violin. What I'm really grateful for is in the culture of jazz, there's opportunities to go to jam sessions and to meet other people and to let your instrument talk for you. So I let my sax do the talking. And I've had people come up to me after they've seen me play and said, I was not expecting you to sound like that. I wasn't expecting you to have such a big sound, or even people that have said, I'm so sorry, I apologize, because I just assumed that if that's what you look like, that you wouldn't sound like that. Without having talked to me before, they're just, they felt compelled to say that to me afterwards, which I really appreciate. And we had a discussion about, but like I said before, I feel really grateful that I've had the tool, this physical instrument, to really let the horn do the talking for me. I have had a past experience where there was somebody I was working with who was just saying some very inappropriate sexist remarks. And it was pretty uncomfortable interacting with that person. And, my advice for anybody who feels uncomfortable in a situation that might arise like that is to trust your gut and trust this, the messages you're getting, even about your own safety. And if you feel it's best to leave, leave that situation. And I always remind my students too that it's important to find your own community, especially in music, of people who are open-minded, who are there to support each other, who want to create a safe space, who are in for the music making, not to feed the ego, but to be there together and create something special. Because music it should feel like a truly joyful, safe, beautiful experience, especially when you found those people that can support you in making that the musical journey and experience.
So that's an incredible lead in into the next question, which is like, how powerful are the arts in the wellness space? And how is that a catalyst to create change in the community, in your really
Yeah.
anywhere and everywhere?
I love this question. I think that the arts is incredibly powerful and important, and in the wellness space, I think that connecting to the arts in general allows us to connect with the inner child within and really connect to the present moment, which is so hard these days, right? I mean, we just have so many distractions and screens and notifications, but being able to be in the moment, connect within our body. I think that's something that specifically I love about music and performance arts. It's that I get out of my head and I'm just in my body, and my body will tell me a lot and it'll give me messages and it will let me like release certain feelings. And it's when I get too much in my head that it messes with that. So, when I play music, I'm forced to be in the present moment. I'm forced to listen to those around me. I guess I'm not forced, because there's moments that I'm not tuned in, but when I'm tuned in, it's beautiful. And for the people who are listening, right, the audience that I'm sharing to, I've seen moments where I'll be playing a song and I see someone in the audience crying, and it's beautiful because I'm like, they're releasing. They need this. They need this in the moment. Music is so therapeutic, and I got into this because, not just because I love the notes of music or I love how it sounds, I really feel like music is therapy. And in those moments that I'm looking at my audience and we're connecting, whether they're crying, whether they're dancing. You know, I've had those moments that my people in front of me will just jump up and they'll start dancing. Like, that's the spirit within us. And that's literally the music is going into the nervous system and helping us release certain things, or we're smiling or we're dancing or we're being together. And like, that is the human experience, and something that I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to that feeling as the one, you know, making the music, and I'm addicted to sharing it and being with other people and kind of helping set that scene. And I think it's incredibly, incredibly healing.
Wow, I could sit here and listen to you talk about music all day, I think. But I know that I only have a few minutes with you. So from your perspective, how do we actually create a racially just and healthy society?
Oh, it's such a big question, such an important one. I certainly don't have all the answers. I'm continuing to learn more and more every day, every moment. I will say that I think listening to each other is so important, and asking questions. You know, the more that we can learn about each other's perspectives, the more we can truly listen, the more we can walk into a room where perhaps, you know, people have opposing views, but we're willing to, you know, be open and talk to each other and listen and really have a conversation. I feel that we can get further that way. The moment that somebody walks in and we all have our own agenda and we know what we want to say, but we're not listening, I feel that's the time that, you know, the walls might come up and people are feeling defensive and we're not feeling like it's a safe space to discuss and connect. And so I think what I'd like to bring to that great question in this moment is really fine-tuning our listening skills and asking each other questions and being open to what other people are saying and them sharing their perspective, because we can always learn from each other and learn more and, you know, dive in deeper together.
Wow, what a beautiful answer. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer my questions. I'm sure other people may have questions, and feel free to post those in the Q&A. Is there anything coming up that you have going on that we should know about? And how do we stay in contact with you? How do we follow you and get on this journey with you?
J Dash, thank you so much for these incredibly thoughtful questions. I really, really appreciate getting to talk with you and connect. And for everybody listening, thank you for being here. I've got always have a bunch of things brewing. I'm working on a really exciting orchestral project that probably won't be out till next year, but I'm in the, you know, development research stage. And then I have a lot of new music that's dropping, new singles, and I am pretty active on my social media and love making content and videos. So people can follow me on my website, gracekellymusic.com, which has all the links to my work, and also will tell you where I am currently touring. And my social media, I'm most active on my Instagram at gkellymusic, but I also am on Facebook, facebook.com/gracekellymusic. I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok. I'm on all the places.
Absolutely. I think we all have to be these days, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, with that being said, I hope from what they really came here to see, which is you getting into that zone and sharing your gifts and talents with us. Are you prepared to share with us today?
I'm really excited to jump into this, and thank you again, J Dash, for these wonderful questions. And your vibe and spirit has really just been such a beautiful ray of light for me this morning.
Awesome. You for me as well. But without further ado, I don't want to keep anybody from you. I am pleased, proud, humbled, and honored to be able to introduce and transition into the musical styles of Grace Kelly.
Thank you so much. Everybody, I'm so excited to get to perform for you today. we are in a virtual space, but I can't say this, encourage you enough to just get loose with me here, right? We are at the end of this incredible Upswell festival, and dance it out, sing it out. Let's just have a good time. I'm going to play a few songs for you. I'm going to start with one of my favorite Ray Charles songs, Unchain My Heart. This is a gracified rendition from one of my albums, and I'm just going to move my chair and then let's get it going. Big thanks to J Dash again. Let's give him some love in the chat. And I'm seeing your words come through in the chat, so feel free, just like at a live show, if you're feeling it, go ahead and tell me how you're feeling. This is a little Unchain My Heart. My heart, baby, let me be. Unchain my heart, 'cause you don't care about me. You got me sewed up in a pillowcase, but you let love go to waste. So unchain my heart, please set me free. Unchain my heart, let me go my way. Unchain my heart, you worry me night and day. Every time I call you on the phone, someone tells me that you're not at home. So unchain my heart, please set me free. Come on, y'all, get this hands going. Let's go. Clap along. Hey, all right. How are you feeling, everybody? A little Unchain My Heart. Thank you so much. All right, I'm seeing some really fun gifts in the chat. I want to do a song for you now. We're going to bring the vibe down a little bit, the tempo down, and I'm going to do a song for you that I'm going to actually bring my chair over. Ooh, that got the heart rate going, huh? I'm going to do a song now that was inspired by falling in love. And I wrote this song a little while ago. I remember first meeting my my boyfriend. The very first date we had was when I was headed towards a cute restaurant in the East Village in Manhattan. And we met up. I saw him on the sidewalk, and my heart just started beating, and my palms got sweaty. And I was like, what is this feeling? Oh my gosh. And then we met and had the most magical conversation, talked for hours. And we said, we got to do this again. And so over the next 2 weeks, we thought, wouldn't it be fun to just be like, pretend to be like New York City tourists and just do things we've never done? And that's what we did. We rode the Staten Island Ferry, and we went to all these great coffee shops, walked the Brooklyn Bridge, and I was falling in love in every moment. And we're learning all about each other. And I sat down one day and I wrote the phrase "feels like home" down, because it made me, when I was with him, I just realized that when I looked into his eyes, any place could be home. We could be on the New York City subway. We could be, wherever. And I wrote this song, and I dedicate it to anybody who's with their special person right now, or for you to hold whomever you love in your heart. This is called "Feels Like Home." Suddenly I'm falling 1,000 stories high. It's amazing and it's crazy, and I'm strangely satisfied. You grab my hand and the colors in my world come alive. But I never planned to fall in love. We watch the hours in the sunlight run away, talking of dreams, childhood memories, and family holidays. You were a stranger, then a lover, now something more I cannot say. Maybe this time it could be love. 'Cause you feel like home when I look into your eyes. Your kisses taste like sunshine. You turn me on so bright. You feel like home. You feel like home on a starlit summer night. You're the drumbeat of my heart. Your loving red eyes wide. You feel like home. Suddenly I'm falling 1,000 stories high, and it's too late to turn back now. So I look deep into your eyes, you pull me close. Kiss me softly under the city lights, and somewhere in there I fell in love. You feel like home when I look into your eyes. Your kisses taste like sunshine. You turn me on so bright. You feel like home. I didn't see it coming, but this time I'm not running. You feel like home when I look into your eyes. Your kisses taste like sunshine. You turn me on so bright. You feel like home. You feel like home on a starlit summer night. You're the drumbeat of my heart. Your loving red eyes wide. You feel like home. You feel like home when I look into your eyes. Oh, your kisses taste like sunshine. You turn me on so bright. You feel like home. You feel like home on a starlit summer night. You're the drumbeat of my heart. Your loving red eyes wide. Oh, you're the drumbeat of my heart. Your loving red eyes wide. You feel like home. You're the drumbeat of my heart. Your loving red eyes wide. Darling, you feel like home. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I am just so lit up with gratitude of all these hearts and everything coming in the chat. That is so sweet. Thank you all. I'm so glad that we can all be here together and feeling all the feels. I got a couple more songs for you. If you guys it sounds like you're with me. We're going to do I like how I'm saying we're. I'm going to do a song for you. I want you to get up and groove on this one. This is actually a remake of one of my favorite Rolling Stone songs. I think you might know it, but definitely this one is going to be fun for you to boogie along to. Cause I've been holding on so long, I've been sleeping all alone, Lord, I miss you. I've been hanging on the phone, I've been sleeping all alone, I wanna kiss you. Well, I've been haunted in my sleep, you've been staring in my dreams, oh, wait, I miss you. myself. It's just you and no one else. Lord, I miss you. I've been waiting in the hall. I've been waiting on your call. I wanna kiss you. Hey, yeah, 'cause I miss you. Hey, yeah, 'cause I miss you. Ooh, why you wait so long? 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 Guess I'm lying to myself. It's just you and no one else. Lord, I miss you. I've been waiting in the hall. I've been waiting on your call. I wanna kiss you. 'Cause I miss you. 'Cause I miss you. 'Cause I miss you. 'Cause I miss you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. I got one more song for you all. This one's a song that I wrote for a dear friend. Oh, sorry, DJ duties. This is one I wrote for a dear friend. You may have seen him on TV. He's the band leader for the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And let's get it going. I feel so honored and grateful to have spent time with this band playing on TV in their first year. This is a little Lemons Make Lemonade. I hope you all get up and dance. Let's take it to New Orleans, eh? This is a song that John Batiste recorded on my album with me. Yeah. Lemons Make Lemonade. to sing it back. That's right, to the computer, because we are together, huh? I said, yeah, 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 come on. I said, yeah, 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 yeah. I said, Upswell 2021. Upswell 2021. Hey. I said, do, do, do. Come on. I said, do, 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 yeah. I said, lemonade. Sing. We want some lemonade. Give us some lemonade. Come on, y'all. Hey, let's go. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Woo!
Lemonade, lemonade. That was incredible.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So inspired.
I'm so glad. Felt great. Everybody's doing the stuff in the chat. I'm seeing some unicorns come in, some
You're getting
saxophones.
so much love. First of all, both of you through your conversation, J- and Grace, just a inspired conversation. I would have to say, even collaboration between the two of you. Perhaps someday in the future, there could be a musical collaboration. And Upswell,
Preferably after I catch my breath, for sure.
yes,
I'm
and
down
Upswell
for it.
exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
That was an incredible performance. Grace, I know for you, you talked about falling in love and how it was love at first sight. Was it that way for you with the saxophone?
Very much so, yes. I remember hearing the sounds of Stan Getz as a young girl. My parents were playing The Girl from Ipanema on repeat. And I just knew, at 6 years old, one day I'm going to play that beautiful instrument. It was love at first sound.
Wow. I cannot thank both of you enough for being here. What a way to end Upswell. I mean, absolutely incredible. You can see the love that's coming through the chats. Everyone's just like, come through, Grace. Great job, J- with those questions. So thank you both from the bottom of our hearts. On behalf of everybody watching and listening, thank you. Thank you, J-. Thank you, Grace Kelly. And something that really touched my heart personally as an Asian American woman who was once a little girl growing up in America, of course, with the recent hate wave against Asian Americans as well during the last year, it was just incredible to hear Grace talk about some of those positive stereotypes that Asian Americans have to fight in this country as well. So what an inspiration you both are. And just can't imagine how many young Asian American girls are watching you, Grace, and know that the possibilities are limitless for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Such a pleasure being here. Thanks so much for your words, and thanks for having me.
Thank you, Upswell. Thank you for having both of us. We really appreciate it, for sure.
Thank you both. Continue to be blessed and continue to be well. Oh my goodness. Wow. I was dancing. I hope you were dancing. That was just so incredible. And I have so much joy in my heart. And now, you know what? I'd like to welcome back to the stage our CEO and president of Independent Sector, Dan Cardinale, to reflect on the entire 3 days and to close out our time together. And Dan, I have to tell you, on behalf of everyone, thank you so much for this event, you and your whole team and this platform, putting this all together so that way we can all gather like this over the last 3 days.
Well, Chief, first of all, thank you. It has been just a delight to get to know you as we've been backstage a number of times in this virtual green room. And just a big shout out to Grace Kelly and Jay Dash. That was just an extraordinary way to end an extraordinary 3 days. Grace is magical, and Jay Dash is becoming a fixture, we hope, in the Upswell community. And hopefully maybe the two of them. To your point, we'd love to be the inaugural place where their collaboration unfolds like our community has. But it's been great. Before we jump into some reflection, I do want to give a huge shout out to the team. You know a number of them because they've been in this room, but it is just a tireless effort on the entire organization. But there's a core group of folks who've been leading this effort. And I just want to thank them, Liz and Michelle and Habib and Christina and Monica, and we've had a number of other people join in recently. So just this would not happen if it wasn't for their extraordinary efforts.
What an incredible platform. What an incredible group. The fact that Upswell brings together so many people that are working on the front lines. They're on the ground. They're doing the work to make this country a better place. It's absolutely incredible. And what I love about Upswell, especially with this being my first time experiencing independent sector and Upswell, you're not only inspiring people, but you're also supplying the tools that everybody that's attending needs in order to go back and do the work. And it embodies, not only the solutions, but also the support that everybody here needs.
I thank you for that reflection. And I think I just want to be super thoughtful about the we who's supplying it. It is, in fact, the community. And I think if there's any wisdom that we hope gets modeled here, it is that we as a community have all the resources and wisdom and ability to take care of each other when some of us are struggling and others have a little bit of rest in them to be able to carry the water or cook the food and nourish each other. And so at Independent Sector through Upswell, our belief is that if we can just create a space where the community can share its wisdom, its resources, its questions, its struggles, then the community itself will respond. And I think over the last 3 days, we've seen that on the main stage. We've seen that in these small workshops or spark talks. And watching the chat, which has been, for me, the greatest joy, where you see enthusiasm and questions and hearts and, what do you think about this? And the only frustration I think I have at the end of these 3 days is it is as powerful as this platform has been. When we bring folks together, it is just, it's beyond magical, and people build lifelong relationships. We just hope that this will continue. We'll talk a little bit about it in a bit, but it has been our dream to have a community of change makers.
The one thing that's been beautiful throughout this, it's not at all, it's the thread of hope that's been underlying these 3 days. It's not at all saying that the challenges aren't great, but the hope has been there in every speaker that has taken the main stage or has led a workshop or done a spark talk. The hope is there. And I think that's what people really need after, especially these last trying, year and a half, 2 years.
Again, I totally agree. And I come off the 3 days more enthusiastic and hopeful about what is possible. And I've been struck as I've reflected on the conversations I've been really privileged to be a part of. And there seems to be a couple of themes around the courage to continually reconstruct our nation in light of a commitment to heal, to confront the incredible inequities that have been built into the enormous power and wealth that our nation has built, and to hold that commitment in love and in a sense of possibility, while at the same time demanding of ourselves and of our community that we radically bring in all individuals willing to labor in that project, and the belief that it is through the collective effort of our confronting and our healing that possibility unfolds before us in creativity. We've heard that paradox, that tension that has been an invitation every day. And watching people make it their own and begin to play with it and share it and imagine has been, I think, a clarion call to independent sector team and our board and our membership to continue to push ourselves. Like, how do we continue this work forward without losing the tension between confronting the inequities, the racial inequities particularly, but inequities throughout civil society, and yet imagine a robust and really vibrant civil society that can be a source of renewal for the country.
Well, that's been, I'm so glad that you said growth, because that has been a continual theme that I've noticed is just sort of also the evolution, the journey, the fact that we're all capable of growing, that we're all capable of changing. And I thought it was so great that Dr. Han ended today with saying, it's not about the rupture, it's about the repair. It's not about forgetting the rupture or forgetting the challenges, but it is also about the fact that, yes, we can evolve, we can change, we can repair, and we can be better for it. Because of it.
Yeah, I prior to coming to independent sector, I had the extraordinary privilege of working with an organization called Communities in Schools, which worked with young people and their families, really in some of the most devastated communities in America. And I witnessed firsthand the ability of those communities to rally around themselves and demand from the world around them the resources and the space to both confront the challenges they face, build the sets of relationships that will enable them to be not just transform themselves, but then a source of transformation for the rest of their community and for the larger world. And so I know it is possible firsthand. I've seen it and believed it. And I think it is just a continuous commitment. And I'm so glad we ended with Grace Kelly and J-Dash, because to celebrate and to experience joy in the work is critical. And, G, again, I would just want to thank you. This would not have been possible without your joy and guidance, and your incredible ability to synthesize and reflect. It's a gift in real time. And I can see why you're so good at what you do in your professional life. And this also would not have been possible without our sponsors, who have really believed in the work and in the vision of Upswell. Particularly, I want to give a huge shout out to the Fetzer Institute for its long-term investment in the development of the Upswell community, to the Annie Casey Foundation, the Center for Creative Leadership, for their contributions. And I also want to thank the New Pluralists, particularly Uma, who did such a beautiful job leading into the Gardner Award on the main stage. Also to Healing America, powered by Stand Together Foundation, for sponsoring the main stage event on Wednesday, and the National Association of Music Merchants for sponsoring the final main stage we just experienced. But most importantly, I want to thank you, the audience, for joining us. You are Upswell. You make this real. It comes to life because of the extraordinary willingness to be vulnerable and to believe. And a particular shout out to our new and growing partnership with the Othering and Belonging Institute. We look very much forward to continuing to grow that and share that through the Upswell community. An Upswell Summit may be coming to a close, but Upswell never ends. It is our one of our signature community building events. And so I'd like to continue to invite you. Many of you have participated in some of our pop-ups or exchanges. We will have another exchange, which is a small group opportunity to reflect on all that we're learning in our daily life and then through these events. Our next exchange will be on November 4th, and we really heartily invite you to join. Those of you who know Dr. Cheryl Hall Russell, who leads that, she's just a unique and wise guide in creating a space for us to be able to do that. And finally, before I say goodbye, I'd ask you all to take a survey. We are a data-driven organization. We believe in learning with and from you. So just take the time, give us your feedback. We read these things, we pay attention to them, we discuss them, we argue about them so that we can actually be the best participant in the community that we hope is unfolding. So with that, I want to thank you all again. G, thank you for your extraordinary gift of guiding us, to the entire Upswell team, and to you all. Have a wonderful rest of the year, and Upswell 2022, here we come.